started.
Good afternoon. Imagine for a moment that you've just relocated for a new job and you've brought your family and your two small children with you. You've been there for a few weeks, but you still don't have a place to live because you just arrived. However, after being there for a few weeks and you've used all your savings to stay in a hotel room, you're running out of money. Now you realize that the Army messed up your pay and you're actually only getting about 10% of your paycheck. This would be a very scary situation normally, but imagine also you're going to Italy with your family for the first time and you have no support structure because you just got in country. This is a very scary situation to deal with. Luckily, there's an agency there to help soldiers when this happens, the Army Emergency Relief. This is the exact situation that I was faced with myself in the summer of 2015 when I arrived in Vicenza, Italy with my family. We had no money because we had been spending our savings for a hotel room. Within 24 hours of this situation happening to us, the Army Emergency Relief was able to give me my entire first paycheck. We were able to put a deposit down for rent or for an apartment. We're also able to get a rental car for a few more weeks until I could get my paycheck. As our military and their families are always there looking out for us, sometimes soldiers need to have somebody looking out for them too in these situations. I'd like to share a couple of these situations with you. Some of the impossible situations that soldiers are faced with during their military service, the uniqueness of these situations and how it differs from those of civilian side, the uniqueness of these situations and how it presents unusual conflicts for soldiers, and why the safety net can help keep our soldiers and our national defense safe while they're overseas. I'll now present some of these unique scenarios to you. Listed in Army Regulation 930-4, a soldier can be awarded an interest-free loan or grant for non-receipt of pay or loss of funds, emergency medical and dental expenses or hospital expenses, funeral expenses to include travel for dependents back to home of record, relocation expenses to include down payment for rent and utilities, fire or natural disaster damage, auto repairs, or any other situation which could face a soldier with privation. More often than not, soldiers are living hundreds of miles away from their families or any support structure that they grew up with. Whenever they're faced with these situations, they don't have the support structure of people that can help them. Luckily, that's where the Army Emergency Relief comes in. A soldier who is stationed in Georgia but is from Arizona may not have the support structure to him when his car breaks down and he needs to have repairs made. His parents may not be able to get him money right away. A soldier who is stationed overseas with his family and has an emergency back home may not be able to get his whole family back home without paying a few $1,000s for the flights. And a soldier from Mississippi who arrives in Vicenza, Italy with their family and has no pay for the first month they're there definitely needs some support on their end too. According to the ADR website, in 2016 alone, over 41,000 soldiers and their families received direct assistance. The Defense Finance and Accounting Service website said that in 2017, that number grew to over 43,000, or roughly 1 in every 15 soldiers. In an article covering the top rated charities for veterans and their families, the Stacker.com website states that since the AER's founding in 1942, over 3 million families have been awarded with aid from the AER. That's the AER logo. This shows a bit of the program, how it actually funds. As you can see, the large blue circle, 83.7% of money spent by the AER goes to these loans and interest-free loans and grants to soldiers. In 2017, the AER provided support to active Army, National Guard, and reservists in California, Florida, Texas, and Puerto Rico who suffer natural disasters. The Association of the United States Army states that since 9/11, the Army has given out over $1 billion in aid to soldiers, approximately $61 million a year that goes to aid to help soldiers. By contrast, payday lenders charge interest rates of 300 to 500% because they know they can get money from the soldiers. As an example, I have 2 offers from payday lenders that I received just this week, one for 266% interest and one for 378% interest. Very unheard of. So where does all this money come from that the AER uses to help soldiers? The AER is funded 100% through private donations. As you can see here, 99.9% of their money comes from private donations. Even though the AER's motto is soldiers helping soldiers, only about 10% of soldiers actually contribute to the AER. The rest of that money has to be made up through private donations. As a strictly donor-funded nonprofit agency, the AER is a safety net for these unusual circumstances that soldiers are faced with. The AER website states that they have 76 office locations that service over 180,000 soldiers in over 140 different countries around the world. In 2017, the agency was able to provide $70 million in aid to these soldiers. On the AER's website, aerhq.org, there's a quick link donation, or a donation quick link, so you can make donations to the agency in a few simple steps. Donations can be made through a single one-time use donation or through a contribution through your payroll that can last for as long as you wish. As the agency works closely with the military, they will not use your information for a third party. They won't give it to anybody else, and the only data they collect on you will be used for statistical purposes internally to the agency. Without this emergency support, soldiers could be faced with unimaginable circumstances with no clear means of escape. Being able to contribute to this process means that you are providing a defense to those who defend us every day. With nearly $70 million in aid relief awarded to soldiers in 2017, the AER needs every dollar they can get. As you see, they're only funded through donations. By contributing to the Army Emergency Relief, you're also taking an action to say thank you to the soldiers who defend our nation. Being able to support our military may be a simple gesture, but it gives soldiers that peace of mind when they're in a difficult situation, that they know they're taken care of and they can focus on their duties. Understanding some of the unique situations that soldiers may face, it's easy to visualize how we can help them. Having the AER in place means that soldiers do not have to resort to these payday lenders. They can actually be taken care of from the inside by an agency that's nonprofit that will support them 100%. Without the AER, soldiers are subject to these predatory lenders with insane interest rates, which can become a very slippery slope once you start doing business with them. Now you know the needs and you know how to contribute, so this is some contact information for the AER. As you see, they have every major social network plus their phone number and their website. The helping hand the AER provides soldiers in a time of need can honestly save a soldier and their family at their most desperate hour. Even a small donation to this great agency can help troops when they need it most. As the AER is 100% funded through private donations, it should instill a sense of pride in Americans to help those who volunteer to protect us. The safety net provided by the AER can be critical to a soldier and a family getting back on their feet, and without these financial contributions from the very people that these soldiers serve every day, this great program cannot exist.